Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Abi back again. Just to remind you of an old classic um, that's still relevant. And this is the worship of the BAW because what? A shape. And not only a shape, but the worship is only of the backside. And again, I ask you, when did who brought this up that we should see the women and judge whether they're fine or not from the back, from behind? Where did that come from? I never understood that. Because I'd rather see the face and the whole front, me. The curves used to be about the front, the hips. Top heavy was kind of good, but if she was looking fine, it didn't matter. Natural look. Oh, and look like a melanated woman and not a, how they say it, a Negropean. All right. So this is a presentation featuring the God of the Simps, the BAW. And this is why I still say, brothers and sisters, separate. I'm going to greet you real quick, but y'all can see my growth and understanding. This was an older video from the old channel. And y'all see if y'all remember this one. Because this is relevant to today, it is relevant. All right. But let me greet everybody. Hovorden Hardu Gudag Ola Oi to the Bang versus Los Bonjamis and me, Kedu Bawani Konichiwa, Ni Hani Ama, Sani Bonani, Jamba Baragani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. All right. Now, so get a gander of this video, and I'll be right back at you. Hey YouTube, what's up? Oi to the Bang versus Los Konichiwa, Ni Hao Ni Hama, and bonjour mes amis. Kedu. All right. The reason for this video here is after getting into a couple of discussions with some of the brothers and stuff, it seems that we have elevated the black woman to godhood. And when you look at our judicial system and stuff like that, no one seems to be willing or able to judge a black woman, no matter what kind of act that she commits. And basically, when you look at child support, child custody, a black woman can lie about who the father is and still collect money from a guy that she know is not the father. The courts know is not the father. And the courts is okay for it because there is no justice for black men. We'll get into a little bit of that later. All right. And so the a quote, black women are so beautiful that they shouldn't give their coochie away for free, right? Is coming from a black woman. And it stands to reason then, um, have men made the black woman God? Have women made themselves God? All right, there is only one mighty one, one Allah, one Elohim, one Yahweh Elohim. All right, and black women, woe to the black woman that tried to take his place, right? So let's start with Genesis 3 and 16. And I'm going to show you where I'm going here too. There has to be a punishment that's going to be handed out by the Almighty to the black woman, right? It's because they have forsaken the punishment they were supposed to get for their deed in the garden. And Genesis 3:16, it says, to the woman, he said, I will greatly increase thy sorrow and your conception. Bring forth children in pain, and your desire is to your husband, and he does rule over you. All right. Now, to the men, he told us to rule over the women. Why? To keep them from doing kind of the stuff we see them doing today, when women's liberation told them that they're like the man, now you see how crazy and effed up they get and how destructive they have become to the black community as a result of white people giving them the ability to rule. Because remember, we're still slaves to them. We're following their laws, their judicial system, their family courts. It's an unjust thing, right? It's not biblical. All right. And so he said, and to the man, because thou have listened to the voice of your wife, and the word that better fit is hearken, meaning that he gave into an argument. If you read Job, and like read it in the King James, and if you go back and look at the Hebrew word, it means more like he gave in to the argument. All right. So he followed her will. He gave up. All right. He like, oh, forget it. I don't want to hear your mouth anymore. That kind of thing. The same thing that Delilah did to Samson to get his strength from him. You understand? And it said that she needled him day and night and day and night, until he gave in. So basically, that's what happened here. And have eaten of the tree which I commanded you, saying, do not eat of it, curses the ground because of you. In toil are you to eat of it all the days of your life, right? And so basically, you get into that. Now, this is where people get screwed up and effed up in the head. And the man, and it in Hebrew it says Hadam, and Adam called his wife, the man called his wife Hawa, because she became the mother of all living. All right, which means he's the father of all living. You can't be the mother of something without having the father of it. And that's how black women are effed up in the head. And a lot of these Hotep brothers and these other brothers believing that the black woman is God. You have to have the male seed. Anything else other than the man seed that's coming from a man, you have a vessel for a demon. There's no soul there. It's no longer human. Understand this. We'll talk more about that later on. Now, and Yahweh Elohim said, see the man, and I want to point this out. All right, in Genesis 3:22. Now put the Hebrew version and regular English versions here, because I was kind of wondering something. If you notice that the Almighty was more concerned about the man, be like one of us to know good and evil, and now lest he put out his hand and take also the tree of life and eat it and live forever. So they needed to separate the man, which means everything goes with them, from that tree of life, right? And I was thinking, what did he mean, mankind, or was he just concerned about the man? Right? And so I went back and looked at when in Genesis 1:26, when he said, let us make man in our own image, right? And now you looked at the term for man and the man, right? So I went back to Hebrew and looked at it, and I have it underlined here. So I have underlined the man, and in Hebrew, the word that is used and translated to English, and man, and in Hebrew, the word that is translated into English, right? And in Hebrew, that hey, you have hey, aleph, damak, mem, right? On the bottom underline, you just have aleph, damak, mem. Aleph is silent, except when you put it in a word. Then it takes on a vowel sign. So it's kind of a silent letter. All right. But that hey is in the beginning is a definite article, meaning the man or a man. In this case, is the man because they're talking about a specific man. All right. So that's ha-adam. the man, and at the bottom is Adam, man as in species. Let us create man, species, in our own image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and over the birds in the heavens and over the livestock and all the earth and stuff. All right. And this, so basically, we're talking about two different things here. All right.
Mr. Flowers, you are not the father. Mr. Bowman, you are not the father. Ms. Diaz, is there something else missing from the calendar?
The week after I was intimate with another guy, in July, I was living with another guy.
Ms. Diaz, that would make 4 different men you slept with within a span of a possible conception period.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's hard for me to stand over here and look at a beautiful young girl like you. You just giving yourself away for free.
Giving yourself away for free. Understand that, people. Now, I want y'all to notice the judge, a black woman, tells this woman, you're a beautiful woman and you're giving it out for free. Basically, you're a beautiful woman, but we're whores. We don't give it out for free. We must make the black man pay for this. We're not wives. We're whores. We don't give it out for free. Basically, that's what that means. You're giving it out for free. In other words, black women are saying in order to have sex with them, there must be some cost to it. In order to have a relationship to them, the man must pay. Look at that mentality. No one seems to be allowed to truly judge a black woman because of this mentality. That they feel entitled to everything because they have a coochie. All right, and that's why us black men are in this thing. It says Exodus 34:11. Guard what I commanded you. See, I am driving out from before you the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, the Jebusite. Right? These are all the people that we're not supposed to mate with. Everybody else is clean grounds. Understand that, black men. All right. It said, guard yourself. Men, we haven't been guarding ourselves. We've been letting ourselves fall prey to the black woman like the man did in the garden. And we need to stand up and leave them the hell alone. All right. And when one shows herself to be a true woman of the Almighty, that's the one we need to take under our wings, watch out for, and protect. All right. It said, guard yourself unless you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going. That even in this land, even though we are still slaves here, we still need to guard ourselves and not make any covenants that breaks any of the commandments. But the women have already done that. The black women have made a covenant with the white women to break the commandment that the man should rule over them. The black man should rule over them. And they said, no, we're going to flip that script. F you, the Almighty. We're going to do it our own way. We're going to rule over our man by using and making a covenant with the white man who rules over this land. So the black woman made a covenant with the white man who rules over this land. And the covenant is, I will utterly destroy the black community through abortion, through the legal system, through lying and false accusations. And your covenant to me as a black woman is, you can't judge me for any of this stuff that I'm about to do to these black men. That seems to be what the covenant is. Evidence, woman slept with 4 dudes. The dude ends up, the dude that's not the father, who DNA says is not the father, and who she finally admits that, yeah, she slept with a bunch of people, right, in that time span, but she got this dude on a hook for 18 years off of a lie. Understand that, people. It says, but break down their altars and smash their pillars and cut down their Asherims. In other words, destroy all that they have that is of worship to the system other than what Yahweh has given to us. So basically, this is why we say we need to leave the black woman alone. We need to leave all the things that that she has alone. We need, if she raised them children with them thugs, we need to leave those children alone. Now, when they grow up to make up their own mind, then we need to step in and help them. But while they're with that black woman, we offer no help to her whatsoever. That single black, I don't need no man woman, that single black woman that usurp the commandments, no, we do not help her. Understand this, people. We're supposed to break down all her altars, right? So all her things to the weave gods, to the nail gods, to the spandex gods. You can't tell the difference between a black woman and a whore now because they all dressed alike. I'm serious. They are. Everybody could walk out the house in tights. That's any woman. All right. For you do not bow yourselves to another mighty one, for Yahweh, whose name is jealous, is a jealous Allah. Remember, the word is not Elohim, but it's Elohim. So Yahweh is a jealous Allah. Singular for Elohim, plural. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants. So remember, these black women have on here on YouTube worshiping white men. Not only do they worship the white men, but they are trying to teach other black women how to go after and covet the white man. The white man has become the god of the black woman. So the only woman that we should deal with is one that comes from out of that system. If she's a Christian, the white man is her God. If she worships Jesus of the New Testament, the white man is her God. I don't care if they paint the face black or not. The concept comes from the white men. All right? And so we need to leave all her stuff alone. And then when brothers reach out, when they come to the age where they can make their own decision, and the sisters genuinely reach out and want to come off of that harlot, the whore, the Babylon, then we stretch out to them and then we try to lift them up. But only if they're willing to follow the commandments as we follow the commandments. Y'all can read the rest.
Ms. Diaz, is there something else missing from the calendar?
The week after I was intimate with another guy, in July, I was living with another guy.
Ms. Diaz, that would make 4 different men you slept with within a span of a possible conception period.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's hard for me to stand over here and look at a beautiful young girl like you. You just giving yourself away for free.
All right. So she's beautiful. What's beautiful about her? Think about this. She slept with all them guys, and even DNA cannot tell her who the father is of that child. And you unrighteously stuck a man as a father to that child. And if that child have any kind of problems when they grow up, and you need to know if there's any family history of said problem, this woman is not going to know. Y'all went to the doctor and they asked, is there a history of this and that and the other in the family? And most of us don't know because we don't know who our dads are. All right. So not only did she play with this man's livelihood and money, she's also playing with that child's future and that child's health. So this is the God that some men want to worship, saying that you can create a human being with a woman. No, you can't. You can create a demon. You cannot recreate another human being with a black woman. Anything come out of a black woman that did not come from a black man's sperm is not human. So you Negroes running around, oh yeah, you can. A woman can don't need no man to have a child. Okay, you might have a point. Scientifically, they could put something in her and stuff, but trust me, a child won't come out. It will be a demon. So that's the judgment of women. The judgment of men, this is what we get. A woman had a dream that this man raped her. So he spent 28 years in prison because a woman had a dream that he raped her. And had it not been for another man coming clean, that man would still be in jail because a woman had a dream that he raped her. And the reason what they did was they threw away the DNA evidence. Read this, y'all. Here's the information. 28 years. So a woman can lie on a man and steal his life, but there's no judgment for her. These women can have this baby and falsely say it belongs to another man and take his money for at least the next 18 years of that man's life, and there's no judgment for her. All right, I want y'all to go and look at a video done by Baptized a Scribe, right? It says the mystery iniquity. All right, and we were kind of having a discussion on what this all meant. And I started to see something different. I'm looking at the gods that we follow. Now it's the black woman, right? But all the gods that's being followed are coming through the court systems. But the court systems are based on quote unquote justice, right? But the justice are based on whichever God you follow. All right, where am I going with this? Us Israelites, we had a system of justice, and it was called the commandments of Yah. Everybody else took our system of justice and warped it, right? And made themselves gods. So instead of Yah judging us and Yah's people judging us, now the gods of this world are judging us based on their judgments, based on their laws, which changes to suit them and keep us subjugated. Right? Now, as our judgment, we have our women condemning us to misery, those that get tied up with them. And this is going to happen until black men learn to cry out. But I figured out what it's talking about when it says cry out, right? We have not cried out for judgment to the Almighty. Why? Maybe most of us are afraid that we're going to be in that judgment. All right? But we have not cried out for judgment. We have pimped off all of our things. We're supposed to sing praises to the Almighty, right? When hip hop first came out, we were singing praises to the Almighty. We were lifting each other up. We were battling each other. And our things were so catchy that it caught on. We were breakdancing and stuff like that. People think praises are something that happens in a church. No, it's like when you watch your children and you're looking around them and you see them creating and having fun. You see them out playing. You see them doing good in sports, right? And so their happiness and their joy and they showing creativity is praise to me. Like when the girls do something, right? It's praise to me when people see them doing some good stuff. When people see them being creative. When they do some art or something. When they run track. Right? So anytime they create, it's praise to me. They and y'all know what I'm saying. They be like, oh man, you raised them girls right. They are really well mannered. Right? So how we live is praise to the Almighty. So we need to get back to creating our own junk and stop pimping it off. All right, let me tell you, brothers. And this, like I said, my channel is specifically for brothers. So let me tell you this. My final thoughts is this. When it says cry out, we start bringing back our songs, our funk, and stuff like that. Because how we cry out is basically if you've raised children and your children are being creative and people like, wow, your children are creative, right? That gives honor to me, right? We got to cry out to the Almighty for help. And then we have to cry out and start being creative for the Almighty. And not in like, oh, let's make gospel songs. No, bring our own creativity back when we talk about our issues and stuff like that. When we start rapping about our stuff and not about hoes and how many we screwing. All right, that's what cry out means. And then we must cry out for judgment. We want judgment to come down on these black women and the people that propped her up, which is the white system, which the Almighty is going to judge that, but he's going to judge her with that. He's going to take her away from us, the ones that's been ratchet and stuff like that, and judge her with the white men that she has made her God. All right. We need to take back our creations. When we create something, we need to stop pimping it off for money. We need to keep our creation, keep our hip hop, keep our dancing, keep our music. Our music is different from anybody else. Then they take it and warp it. So we need to get back to the regular soul. We need to get back to regular funk. We need to get back to regular spirituals. We need to get back to regular hip hop. All right, well, we had a message in everything. We had a message of love, happiness, joy, sadness, heartbreak. We need to start talking about issues and topics, and we need to do it through music. That's how we cry out. We get ourselves right through the commandments. We leave them ratchet black women alone and completely alone, as I stated. And then we start being creative again and crying out, and we be helpers to one another. Period. That's how we do it. Brothers helping brothers. No sisters involved. Any organization we come up with, no sisters involved. With that said, I'm out. All right, brothers, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And when you subscribe, click the bell. And when you click the bell, click all. And don't forget, my PayPal Me Refuge Temple Nabi link will be in the description box along with my email. All right, y'all hit me up. Tell me what you think. And again, why we say that we should, and be careful signing junk, having women conning you into signing junk. All right. But with that said, we got to let that wall meet these BAWs by themselves. Or they can have the Simps and all the rest of the crew with them that they like for destruction. We should not have no part in dealing with them. If they don't identify as a sister only, we don't have nothing to do with them. That means they support our destruction. With that said, I'm out.